We are continuing this 2023 quarterback profile breakdown film session series. We've done CJ, we've done Bryce, and now we're looking at Tyler Van Dyke, quarterback out of Miami. We're going to talk about his strengths, his weaknesses. We're going to look at a little bit of film, so stay tuned for that. And then at the end, we're going to talk about pro comps and where we could see him landing in the NFL. So Tyler Van Dyke out of Miami in the ACC conference. He is 6'4", 224 pounds. In 2021, he only played 9 games, Badake. So I think when people understand that context, that he only played 9 games this year, it's a little bit more impressive, his stats. But 62.3, he completed 62.3% of his passes, just under 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
Now, Tyler Van Dyke is a two-sport athlete. I think that's important to talk about because when you watch his film, you can see that in the way that he throws the ball. I don't know if you saw that as well.
Yep, absolutely.
So he's a baseball pitcher as well. You can kind of see that in the way that he operates. You can see that in his arm talent. You can see that in the zip. 4-star recruit. Derek King was a starter last year in Miami. Had a lot of hype around him, and definitely fizzled out. But why don't you tell me some of the strengths that you like about this player, or anything that you wanna highlight about him?
Yeah, and I think you kind of hit the two things I really want to say. That he was a two-sport player. He played baseball, and he only played 9 games, which was really impressive. But another thing I want to touch on is the development that's going to happen with Tyler Van Dyke. I did say this in our breakdown of, I guess, all the quarterback videos. I forgot the name of that video now off the top of my head, but I did talk about it a little bit. New head coach Mariano Cristobal, coming from Oregon. He helped develop Justin Herbert, and I think that you can kind of see that pathway happening for Tyler Van Dyke. And I think that's really exciting when you watch his film, because you saw that happen in this past year. And now with the mindset, with a good coaching behind him saying, you know what, you can be even better. I think that's what's really, really exciting. And I think could take him to the next level to maybe even, it sounds crazy, but I do believe he can be in contention to be, one of the top 3 quarterbacks to go off the board. CJ, Bryce, Tyler. That's how I
don't disagree at all.
That's how I definitely see it. But I think that's something extremely, extremely important, I think, for anyone that doesn't know about Tyler. And another ACC Rookie of the Year, 25 big-time throws through 300-plus yards in 6 games in a row. Once again, this is only his first season. I guess it wasn't even his first full season. Just his first 9 games, this was impressive. His size is fantastic as well. Like you said, was a 6'3", 6'4", an amazing size. An amazing size for a quarterback to lead you, and you can see it. You can see greatness in this guy. So I'm really excited about Tyler.
I was going to say that my favorite thing about Tyler Van Dyke, and you actually see this a lot in, it's not that his is not special, but it's something that I really like about this class, specifically a couple guys, is the pocket presence. I feel like for me, arm talent is, obviously the most, like, the thing that we look at and we're like, oh my God, this player can be an incredible NFL quarterback. But the way someone manipulates a pocket, the way that they can stand in there confidently in the face of pressure, sense pressure, I think what I wrote down is he has game-changing NFL type pocket presence and poise. And you can see that when you watch his film. He's always calm, always composed. Now, obviously, there's no perfect prospect, right? So there are things that he needs to improve on, but he can also sit in the pocket and read multiple options. He doesn't he's not a one-read quarterback. You can see him progressing through his reads as well. But the arm talent isn't bad either. He can zip it. I wrote this down. He can zip it, lob it, float it, flick it, and zing it. Every type of throw that you want him to make, he's put it on tape already in 9 games at Miami. And the arm talent is definitely there. I was going to talk about some weaknesses, but are there any other strengths that you wanted to quickly highlight for us, Badake? Anything that stood out to you? My favorite thing was his pocket presence, but there might be something that stood out to you differently.
You hit the nail on the head once again. I think you said good zip, great arm. I think his accuracy is fantastic. He always puts the ball only where his defenders can really get it. I mean, like, once again, you hit the nail on the head. I think it's great. what he can do and what we've seen him done coming in this past year. So I'm excited.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about some weaknesses quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He's not immobile at all. He's not a bad runner. I just think he looks robotic. And
Okay.
to me, he's not someone that I imagine the run game being a pillar in the NFL for him at all. It's going to help him manipulate pockets. It's going to help him throw on the run, extend plays, and he doesn't have to be a rushing quarterback. That's fine, but just so we're all on the same page, in my opinion, I don't think that he's going to have a rushing career in the NFL.
Right.
He looks very robotic whenever he's scrambling out of the pocket. Release time needs to be quicker on his throw. It's a little bit too short at time, or a little bit too long at times with that release, which you could just be setting up the offense even better if he had a quicker release. I think he can improve slightly on some of his decision making. Only threw an interception on 1.8% of his pass attempts last year, but I still think he can improve. And I'm going to show you a video specifically where I think he made a bad decision. I think he can improve on.
Yeah.
And he's got a good arm. I actually didn't see many deep balls on film, Badake.
Yeah.
There's enough to look at and say, okay, yeah, he's got an NFL type arm. He can make any throw strength wise. But I want to see that more this year. I want to see more deep balls. I want to see him kind of air it out, and we didn't really get to see that last year. But is there any other weaknesses you want to talk about before we look at film?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it there. Decision making. One thing I did want to see that I actually want to say specifically is the playbook to open up. I felt like when I was looking at his tape and looking at trying to find these big plays and be like, what did he do to manipulate? What happened? It was more, wide receiver screens, fade routes on the outside. Obviously, you got a handoff play. Or maybe once in a while they did like, your slot receiver runs a slant route or an out, whatever the case may be. It wasn't creative in the offense, and I think that is something. I guess that's not his weakness specifically, but I wonder if he's going to have a massive challenge with a new playbook and having a bit more of creative plays in this offense coming in now with his new head coach Mario. So I'm interested to see how he's going to transition there. But decision making needs to be quicker for sure. And
100%.
The short intermediate passes, I think sometimes he was inaccurate, but he did improve as the season progressed. So that's good. That's good. I guess you kind of saw the improvement, but that was his weakness early on for me when I was watching his tape.
Agreed. All right, we're going to show you 2 plays each. We're sharing our screen with each other so we can watch it while we talk about it. Now, again, disclaimer, we are not the best people at breaking down film. I think we're better observers of film than breaking it down. But we want to show you guys a couple things that we like and a couple things that we dislike. So bear with us. I'm going to show you 2 plays from the same game. And if you watch any game, I want you to watch this one. Maybe Badake will advocate for another one. That's fine. But versus Pittsburgh last year versus Kenny Pickett's Pittsburgh. Miami versus Pittsburgh. Really, really good game. Went down to the wire. Both, I think they almost combined for 1,000 passing yards. They were close, the two of them. So on this play, the Hurricanes here are down 7-0, and they're in the red zone. Okay. And there's a couple things you're going to see here from Tyler Van Dyke. You're going to see his pocket presence, his ability to look through multiple reads, and the zip on his arm. All right. And he makes a good decision here. You can also see him kind of manipulating some of these defenders a little bit. So again, versus Pittsburgh, here's a play. We got the receiver at the bottom of the screen. The X, he's running a little flat. So you're going to see him kind of do a little hesitation here like this.
Yep.
Okay. And then you've got the slot right wide receiver here at the bottom of the screen. He's kind of doing it's almost like a hybrid corner wheel route. Okay. So he's going to kind of do this and come up.
Okay.
We've got the running back who's doing a little bit of a hitch here. Now, the first tight end on the outside is doing a fly route. Okay. So he's just all go. The second tight end who's on the line, this is the person who's going to catch the touchdown. He's doing a post route. So he's coming here and then he's coming over the middle of the field. So you can see how this play is designed. I think it's a really well-designed play. You've either got the wheel route here for a touchdown in the end zone. You've got the post route to come over the middle. If they're focusing too much on the post, you got the outside. And offensive line holds up really, really well. They do really, really well here and give Tyler Van Dyke enough time to really process this play. Now, on defense, it's pretty much only 4 people being rushed here, okay? Only these 4. And what I want you to notice specifically on this play is how he's able to manipulate the defense and allow the play to develop. All right, so you're going to see his eyes, and his eyes are looking all the way to the left at the beginning of this play, which is going to allow, again, I talked about this post route that this inside tight end is about to be running. So he's going to be able to manipulate the defense just enough to allow his tight end to end up being wide open over the field. And then he throws a great ball to him. So let's go ahead and watch this develop. Again, you can see really good pocket. Nothing is really breaking down just yet. You're about to see some of these routes. And then you can't see it from this angle. It's a touchdown. But let's look at it from the other angle. Okay. Now, unfortunately, whoever filmed this, they didn't think about the goalpost being right in front of his face. But bear with me here.
Right.
So you can see here, you can already see he's looking to his left. All right. He's looking to his left. And now you're going to see this defender here kind of break out. And it also holds this linebacker kind of in limbo as well. And then you'll see him look straight down the middle. So again, those reads weren't there. Straight down the middle to his tight end for a touchdown.
Just enough to give
I
his
really,
guys
really
some
like
room.
that play from him. Yeah, it was. It's not drastic. It's not doing these crazy head fakes, but it's a high IQ play. You look to your left. Those reads aren't there. Then you're able to still go to your third read over the middle of the field, and you throw a perfect ball for a touchdown. So again, the pocket presence is something that I really, really like from Tyler Van Dyke. I'm going to show you a play that I did not like from him in the same game versus Pittsburgh. This is bad situational football.
Right.
Okay. When we look at situational football in the NFL, this is not what coaches are going to want to see. This is a 3rd and 6. Okay. 7 minutes in the fourth quarter are left. And right now, Miami is up by 4 points. So on the 30-yard line, you're looking at about a 45-yard field goal or so, somewhere around that area. So that would make it a 7-point game. What you don't want here is a turnover. 3rd and 6, you do not want a turnover because Kenny Pickett was one of the best quarterbacks in college football last year, and he's on the opposite side. So on this play, you're gonna see his receivers really not help him at all. Okay. Quarterback, we're gonna see Tyler Van Dyke. It's a rollout on the play, and he's gonna kind of hang here. The running back is going to almost be doing like a rolling block for him. Okay. Receiver at the bottom is probably doing the most lazy slant route that you will see on film in quite a while.
Yeah.
And then the receivers here at the top, one's doing a go route. Okay. And the other one is doing a flat. Okay. So kind of like this. And honestly, the play design is beautiful here. This is a beautifully designed play for a 3rd and 6. You're going to see, obviously they're not playing man. And this receiver here, I don't know what to call him, but he's actually going to be wide open here in the flat, and it should be a first down. The issue is the receiver falls, okay? And not only does this receiver fall, another receiver falls on the play. But what happens when the play breaks down? Like, do you make the right decision? Are you just trying too much to make a play out of nothing when sometimes the best option is to throw the ball away? Okay, so let's have a look at this play here. Again, you can already see him rolling out. So this defender here is pretty much his goal. It feels like the decision is already made before the snap. Like it's a design play for this receiver to be available here in the flat. And really the only goal of this first receiver is just to bring that defender with you, right? Yeah. Give us some space here. Allow us to have a completely open field for the first down. But again, unfortunately, we're going to see the receiver slip and fall. I think he actually runs into his own receiver. So now what do you do? What do you do? Keep in mind, by the way, when you're rolling out right or you're rolling out left, you are automatically eliminating almost 2/4 of the field. Can we look at this for a second?
Right.
I mean, you are eliminating almost this entire part of the field and the other part of the field that we can't even see. The good decision here, the only decision you should be making is to throw the ball away.
Right.
Okay. Give your team a chance to make it 7 points. Head coaches will look at this and they will be very aggravated. He tries to make something out of nothing, throws up an errant pass, and it's intercepted. Now, of course, his other wide receiver falls on the ground. But this is just bad decision making. This is not what you want to see from your quarterback. Again, keep in mind, when you're rolling out right, you're eliminating so much of the field. Your body, your momentum, the offensive line, everything is going towards one side of the field. Normally, these are designed plays. Quick outs, slants, flats, excuse me. So you're eliminating so much of the field. The right decision here is to throw the ball away. That's the only decision you can make.
Yeah,
Instead,
you got to get it out. Yeah.
we throw it up and it's intercepted. So we need some better decision making. Take the points, okay?
Yeah, it's always crucial.
Especially versus an offense that was one of the best offenses in college football last year. So that was something that I looked at and I was like, oh, we could do so much better here. But again, he's still growing, he's still maturing, and the talent is there. So, Badake, yeah, exactly. What are you going to be showing us today? What film are you looking at today?
All right, I'll show you my favorite player first. This is Miami versus Virginia Tech. Decent game for these guys. This is honestly the most creative play I can find, at least in my eyes. So I kind of break it down for you, all right? So you can see the running back here on the top. He's just going to do a simple kind of curl here. This wide receiver is just going to go straight. It's going to continue straight to the outside. This wide receiver is going to do a dig route, going to come back, and this guy is going to run straight once again. And technically, this is the wide receiver. The running back's on the top of the screen, trying to see if it's man coverage or zone coverage. And then this wide receiver is just going to continue with this guy. But what's interesting about this is that you'll see the defense. They realize Tyler already, once he goes in motion, he's already indicating he already knows if they're man or in zone. You're going to see that these two guys drop into zone, where this guy's just going to continue to run, and he is going to follow the bad drawing. Picasso, once again, this linebacker is going to follow this wide receiver. Okay. It happens pretty fast. And then he gets the ball wide open. He throws the ball to his wide open receiver. Essentially, he's just faster and quicker. Okay. So now we see it here that the play is going to run. Running backs in motion. Boom. Look how quick that is. So now when you see this wide receiver, he's already going, right? This linebacker here is continuing with that wide receiver. Now these two guys are already dropped in zone, just like I said earlier, right? This guy, and you see the other running back, or technically guy here, going into motion, which is really exciting because Tyler's seeing this, and you see him. Tyler's looking at this guy, so he wants to throw it. Here we go. He wants to throw it here, but he sees that the linebacker is with him. Right, so he does a quick hesitation. You see the play go again. Once he sees it, he's like, okay, well, that linebacker is going with him. There's no safeties on top because that was the closest linebacker. The safety wasn't top. He was just on the other side of the field.
Right.
So you see Tyler look at him. It happens really fast, and then he switches because he already sees this guy. He sees the opening for this wide receiver. He's just going to split these guys, and Tyler's just going to throw it. Not the best angle from where I'm going to show you, but I'll show you in the other one. So you see he throws it, and it's bottom of the screen there, and then he's there. And I'll show you another angle here, just a better angle right here. Here we go. So you see this. He's already looking at the linebacker. He's looking at this guy. Tyler's looking at this guy. He was going to follow his wide receiver on the outside. You see him. Look, he makes it quick. It's kind of like Zach's play where all he has to do is look a little bit to the left, to his right. He's going through the progressions. It's kind of hard to see because, it's a slow motion. I wish I can break it down a little bit. Right there, right when he turned. So he was looking down the field the whole time, and then he turns to his guy this way that's on the back corner here, and he just gives him just enough time to split those defenders, and you see it right here. boom. Look how wide open he is. Only where his wide receiver can get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is clearly a touchdown. I mean, what a fantastic play, I believe. And he just boom, wide open, and that's a touchdown. That's 7.
Yeah.
That's a 60-yard, 50-yard touchdown. And once again, super simple, super easy for him to just really develop that play, manipulate the defense, and then go through his progressions. Let's go to another play here. This is my least favorite play. Once again, versus Virginia Tech. Now this is when the elements come into play. It's raining. Second half of the game, it's just drenching down. Okay.
Yep.
Simple play. This is where I think the decision making can be better. It could be quicker. He was trying to do too much. You see this wide receiver. This guy here is just going to run a little route like this. This is a wide receiver screen. So this wide receiver is just going to come back, and he is supposed to get the block. But when reality, what happens is that this wide receiver is just going to do a quick hitch. So I'll show you here. And you see, it's just wide open. He snaps the ball. Look how quick that is. Look how open he is. You throw that ball, because my guy, once he knows that the ball is in his hands, once this receiver that could potentially block knows that the ball is in his hands, I mean, all you have to do is just run past him. But that wide receiver doesn't. He continues his route. Wide open. He's still looking down the field. You can't see it now on the top of the screen there. Can't see it now.
Playing almost hero ball, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, look at all this space here. That's 10 yards.
Take what the defense gives you. I mean, some of the best in the NFL.
Exactly.
Just take what the defense gives them.
Exactly. So he tries too much. He tries to thread the needle, which results into an incomplete pass. I'll show you the play here. I mean, 3 defenders around him. Nearly intercepted.
Yeah.
And then surprisingly, the wide receiver catches the ball, but out of bounds. I mean, if he had an extra step, that kind of cuts.
I think that was Rambo, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, look how much space is there once again.
Sure.
Just throw it.
Yeah.
Get, the 5 yards out, and then let your wide receiver, develop the play. Let him get as much yards. Let his athleticism get you that first down if possible. So those, once again, the decision making, I think it's where his downfall is at times. Usually it's not, but trying to do too much that last time. So I like Tyler Van Dyke, though. Something special in him. So I'm excited to see how he's going to continue to develop.
Now, let's talk about who he can be in the NFL, player comps here. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like he plays a little bit like Kirk Cousins. He's more athletic than Kirk Cousins.
Right.
But that's kind of what I'm seeing a little bit. And with Joe Burrow's confidence, though, this is a very confident player. So those are my 2 comps. I have not really Joe Burrow's play style necessarily, but his confidence. I think he plays more like Kirk Cousins, which isn't bad. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and I actually had Kirk Cousins' floor as well. So I had a floor and ceiling. Maybe it's too ambitious, but I think with the head coach coming in from Oregon, he sees greatness in Tyler, and I think he could be a Justin Fields if he continues to develop. And
Justin Fields.
I mean, excuse me, Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Justins. He could be a Justin Herbert. So that's a ceiling, in my opinion. His floor is Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins is not terrible.
No, yeah, that's a franchise quarterback.
That's why I think there is such good potential, because his floor, I mean, the past 2 years in a fantasy perspective, top 12 quarterback for Kirk Cousins. He's just consistent. That's what you need, consistency. I mean, sometimes you need consistency, and sometimes you need that guy that can just get you that home run play. That's why Washington moved on from him, because he wasn't. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I think you guys should have kept him personally, but
well, if Minnesota couldn't turn him into Super Bowl champion, I don't think we could have.
Yeah. So I like Tyler Van Dyke. It's really special. Something special.
I don't think he's going to be like a top 5 pick. So the teams that I think could be in contention, I put like Seahawks, Giants, Panthers, Commanders,
like the middle to the second half of group.
Yeah, like those guys who are like pick 5 to 12.
Okay,
is where I imagine him going.
Yeah, I see that as well. I mean, I had the Giants as one of my my landing spots, Seahawks as well.
Yeah,
I guess maybe a team that is going still in question. Carolina, obviously. I mean, obviously they just had Baker Mayfield. They just got Baker Mayfield. There's a couple teams out there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He's my quarterback 3 in the class as of right now. Obviously, that can change, but as of right now, he's my quarterback 3. I think he's your 3 as well.
He's my 3 as well. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm really excited about Tyler.
And I think he's closer to Bryce than I think Bryce is to CJ. People won't like me saying that, but I personally do think that he is closer to Bryce than Bryce is to CJ.
The edge with Tyler, I guess not the edge, but the pro with Tyler is his size, where Bryce doesn't have that size. He has
all the things that you can't teach as well. So
exactly. I mean,
yeah,
it's tough. It's tough. I won't be surprised. Once again, I won't be surprised. I don't want to say it now. I will not be surprised if he could go above Bryce.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really bold. That's really bold.
It is.
Just saying it right now, but I will not be surprised.
All right, guys. Why don't you comment down below? Let us know what you think about Tyler Van Dyke and where you see him going. Things that you like and dislike about him.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/FantasyLandFam.